Hi everyone, and welcome back to Starbucks Saturday. First and foremost, as I say in every one take, I'm blind, I can't look in the viewfinder, and I don't really care about the picture anyway, so if you can't see my face, sorry not sorry. I talked several weeks ago about a commercial that I still don't know what the commercial was for, but it said, teach them, what did they say? Teach them to smile and they'll smile at you. Teach them to love themselves and they'll love others. Teach them to, I don't know, I forget how it went, but how's this for a line? Teach them to self-reflect and they'll get a good picture of themselves. Hopefully a good picture, not a bad picture. In other words, hopefully a picture of the good, caring, decent, something to be proud of person that they really are. I could do a whole separate video about how self-esteem matters and how I recently found a YouTube blogger that is a teacher, and I mean she's a vlogger, but she also does sit-down videos, and in one of her videos, I mean she talked about a variety of things, but one of the things that she said was that she thinks it's important to teach your kids to self-reflect, and it's important to, and it's also important to make sure they know about their strengths, because she thinks a lot of times strengths get overlooked, and I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Tell us about a girlfriend. Because look, I'm not a parent myself, but obviously I was parented or raised. Have I talked about this on YouTube yet? And how involved do I want to get? How in depth do I want to get about it? In short, I was born to a single mother who had her set of standards for what was okay and what wasn't okay. And then diabetes stole her from me, and I was entrusted to relatives who had a completely different set of standards. And I would say a completely different parenting style, or a completely different something. That's why I go by Andy 87, because 87 was like the peak of what I think of as the best. 97, 98, 99. I could have picked any one of those years, I guess. 87 was just one of my favorite years. But it was probably the peak of that happy time. Where it concerns self-reflection and self-image, my mother would have wanted me, obviously, to know the difference between right and wrong, but she wanted me to even though I would never look in the mirror, and she knew that. I've been blind since birth, but she knew I was never going to look in the mirror, but she was okay with that. She was like, well, she can still know through other, I mean, I don't know. A couple of weeks ago, I read some quotes from her that were written in an article, published in an article, and she basically said about having a blind child, she said, you got to be able to accept it and go from there and not dwell on the sadness and the downside. If I wanted to, I could just sit around and be devastated because my baby's never going to see a rainbow or understand the significance of a Van Gogh painting. But as it is, I think, okay, so she doesn't know what the Mona Lisa looks like. Big deal. She can still enjoy life and have things that she is interested in and enjoy those things. As far as self-image is concerned, she probably would have said, so she'll never be able to look at herself in the mirror. Big deal. She still is a nice person, a caring person, a loving person, a person that does the best she can at what she does, a person that tries, a person that has a good work ethic. And these things are what will build her self-image as the beautiful person on the inside that she is. And the fact that she can't see how beautiful she is on the outside doesn't matter. Except when I lost her and I ended up with these people who, I'm going to preface this by saying I know in their hearts they love me and they did the best they did what they felt was right. But I said earlier that Mother would have wanted me to know the difference between right and wrong, but she also would have wanted me to have a good self-image. These people were so concerned about teaching me right from wrong, and really their opinion of wrong is not that wrong at the end of the day. I mean, obviously, I know that, stealing is wrong, murdering is wrong, lying is wrong. Obviously, the fundamentals of wrong. But, okay, I could do a whole separate video about that, but, excuse me. The point is, they were so concerned about teaching me their idea of right from wrong, which is basically the Bible is right and anything we like is wrong. They never outright said that, but by God, yeah. There were a lot of things that really are not that wrong, but that they didn't want me to enjoy, or they found fault with it, or they found problems with it. And being who I really was never seemed to be okay with them, which is why on Twitter I go by the real Ann V87. I'm no longer this puppet that they wanted me to be. I'm first of all, it has taken me 14 years so far to figure out who the real Ann V87 really is. To some extent I'm not sure I still know. But the point is, when it comes to self-image, after being told about everything I was doing wrong for so long, I pretty much internalized all that and learned how to dislike and criticize and not be okay with myself. Or, I was never good enough for myself because I was never good enough for them. If you're a parent and you're watching, is that really what you want your kids to grow up to feel like? I hope that obviously you've got to teach them right from wrong, but I hope you also let them know. I also hope they know and you let them know how much you love them and how much they're a good kid. Like I said, as far as what's right for parenting, I don't know right or wrong. What's right for one kid isn't necessarily going to be right for another kid. And what's right for my kid, what kid? I don't have a kid, I don't have any kids. And with that in mind, I probably don't have any right to be talking to parents about raising their kids, but I know what my life has been like, and I don't think a parent that would want what was best for their kid would want them to live in the emotional state that I lived in for so long, and to some extent might still live in. What does all this have to do with self-reflection? Well, first of all, the more that you tell your kids how wrong they are, and the less that you tell them, good job, you did the right thing, you're doing a great job, the less you cheer them on and the more you diss on them, the more when they reflect upon themselves, they will think, I suck. I can't do anything right. Is that really how you want your kid to think of themselves? And what this ends up coming back to is, I have this thing that I have to do for work. If I can ever get into the stupid system, I found this out about a week ago. We have this quarterly review thing where I have to fill out a form that kind of assesses my opinion of my work, or my opinion of myself, or my opinion of maybe both. I haven't done it yet because, I tried to do it. I tried to do it the day I found out about it. I was like, let me get this over with. Can you tell I'm not jazzed about doing this? But Google accounts and I are arguing about what my password is, and it didn't let me in. And I suppose I can try again, but I think it might come down to IT and myself working together, which I'm happy to do, but it's been a week and we haven't been able to facilitate that. Anyway, first I've got to get into this form, then I got to find out whether or not it works with JAWS or VoiceOver, which are my two programs that read the screen out loud for blind people, aka screen readers. And then I've got to either fill it out, or if it's not accessible, I'll probably call IRA, which is a subscription service where you can call a trained agent through an app, and they can either describe what you're looking at or remote into your computer and help you with, if the only way to check a box is to hover the mouse just so, they can remote into your computer and click the mouse or hover the mouse just so and get that checked. Check what you tell them to check. Anyway, in order to fill out this form, I'm going to have to do some self-reflection. And I don't know if I don't know how to self-reflect. I don't like to self-reflect. But if asked, how do you think you're doing? My answer is, well, I'm doing the best I can. I think I'm doing okay. Am I doing anything wrong, boss? I'm open to being told I'm doing something wrong and what do you need me to do it right? But obviously, if I knew about something that I was doing wrong, I would work on it. Or I'd either at least work on it, at best, just stop doing that and just do it another way. Part of it is just me griping because I don't want to do it. And part of it is just this thing about self-reflection. I think this teacher is right. Kids need to be taught to self-reflect. And I would add to that, kids need to be taught not just to reflect on the bad things that they've done, on the way they've misbehaved. And that's just a general thing. Yes, of course, you need to have your kid go to their room or sit down with a piece of paper or, something and think about, what did I do wrong? Why did I do it? What should I have done? I'm in trouble. Why am I in trouble? What did I do? What should I have done differently? What do I need to not do anymore? And what do I need to do differently in the future so mom and dad won't be mad at me or so I don't get in trouble? But how many times do kids get encouraged to think about, this is what I did right. This is what I need to keep doing because people are happy with me when I do this. These are the good things about me. I guess what I'm trying to say is, for what my results of parenting, but not really parental because I'm not a parent, advice is worth, reinforce the good, not just the bad. Reinforce the good and the bad, not just the bad. It could be the difference between your kid being proud of themselves and liking themselves and your kid being a mental mess because they don't like themselves. Why is life even worth living when I can't do anything right? I'll never make anything out of myself. Blah, blah, blah. Everything negative you can think of. Part of it might have been my own thinking, but you can't tell me the second half of my childhood didn't have anything to do with it. I think it had everything to do with it. So, this video, as most one takes are, is going to be hella long, but I think that teacher's right. Teach them to self-reflect. And teach them that even though some of the things that they do are bad, they're good kids. Unless they're just truly not good kids, in which case maybe see about some family or individual therapy or something to get to the root of why can't they behave themselves? Why are they acting out so severely? What can we do to take care of this before I mean, if there's truly a right and wrong problem, obviously that has to be addressed, but before we get to the teenage years where there's obviously some kind of significant level of problem, teach them that they're good kids. Teach them to think about what they did and why they shouldn't have done it if they did the bad things. But also teach them that there's something to be proud of. There's good things that they've done. Give the good things as much attention as the bad things. I'm going to wrap this video up because it's already probably 15-20 minutes. Please just give that some thought, and please sign the Do Not Demonetize petition if you feel so moved, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.